Okay, this week we're taking a look at the bird dog, or it's often also called horse stance variations. This exercise has been popularized by both Stuart McGill, studied and popularized by Stuart McGill and Paul Chek through the C.H.E.K Institute. What we're doing here is we're really priming the lower back and the core for heavy lifting. As you can see, I've got the dowel rod on my back. The dowel rod is a great indicator of how well you're bracing and maintaining that spinal stability that we're after with this exercise. I often see it done without, and quite often the load is just transferred into one hip or one shoulder. So with the dowel rod on the back, with those 3 points of contact at the lower back, the mid back and the back of the head, it keeps your spine aligned or helps you to maintain an optimal spinal alignment. As we extend the arm and the leg out, we don't want the curvature of the spine to move at all. As you can see, I'm holding a very flat back. This is not necessary for everyone, but my weakness definitely is falling into extension at that sort of lower part of the back. So I'm holding quite a neutral spine just to switch on all those muscles before I go into some lifting. So as I transition here from 4 points of contact with the floor to 2, that's creating a fair bit of instability that I then have to stabilize. And the reason I like the dowel rod on the back is because that's sort of that intrinsic sort of spinal stabilization that we're trying to create is very, very minor movement. So the dowel rod placed on your back, down the length of your spine, really doesn't allow you to cheat and forces you to really stabilize that so there's no movement. So as we shift the camera angle here, you'll notice, I haven't even looked at the video yet, but we're looking for that dowel rod really, especially as we transition from 4 to 2 on the takeoff, that there is no movement left or right. We don't want the load going into the hip, the opposite hip, or to really to send that load into the opposite shoulder. We're trying to trap all of that instability deep into the core and really fire up all those small multifidus muscles that wrap around each segment of the spine, so that we're creating that sort of stability that we're after, and we can transition that over to underload. So just to recap and be clear, as far as the dowel rod goes, it's purely just there to give you feedback and keep you honest on whether or not you're using a progression or a regression of the exercise that fits your current stabilization capabilities. You know, if the dowel rod's rolling off your back, that you're not managing to stabilize that instability, and you'll need a version of the exercise that's probably a little bit requires less stabilization, which I'll go on to in a sec. So here's a regression of that exercise that we're just doing then. So instead of going from 4 points of contact to 2, which I'm just going from corner to corner, just decompressing one corner at a time. And the main focus is for nothing to feel really any different within my body in terms of, you know, a lot of extra load in one corner. When I decompress that one side. As I decompress it quite slowly, and that is where I'm trying to trap that instability that I've created from 4 to 3 points tight in the core. I don't know if it's noticeable in the video, but as I decompress my right knee, I feel a lot less stable than the rest of the body. So filming this video was great for me because it's giving me a little bit of feedback on what I need to work on for myself. The slower you go and the more strict you are with your decompressions and not allowing the body to shift at all from side to side, you will find the more you get out of the exercise. I find that underdoing this exercise is going to be a lot better than kind of trying to push through and progress and overdo it. Done correctly though, this exercise is a very good back rehabilitation exercise, that is for sure. So as we go on to incorporating that into a little bit of movement now, so I've got a tray on my back, and the goal here is to just imagine that that tray is full of water and I do not want to spill a drop, which is often a lot harder for a lot of people than it looks. But it definitely teaches the body to stabilize through, you know, what is, you know, a regression of the gait pattern. So it has a lot of carryover to what we do in and out of the gym. And like I said, for back rehabilitation, it is definitely one of the top exercises to focus on and improve. All right, guys, if you have any questions, just let us know. Cheers.